Greetings, dear ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming today to our conference. And I would like to remind you that this conference is brought to us by the educational project Na Урок. Today we are going to discuss with you different resources, international resources, which teachers of English can use for their professional development. My name is Ганна Дудіч, and I'm going to speak with you only about the resources that I have tried myself. So first of all, in order for me to see if you can hear me and if you can see me well, I would like you to read the question that you can see now and to react in your chat box, to put a plus if your answer is yes and to put a minus if your answer is no. So my question is, do you use international online resources for your professional development? I mean, not our Ukrainian, but international resources for your professional development. I can see the greetings, the flowers, but yes, I can see now the pluses that some of the members of the audience do use the resources, the international resources. Wonderful. So you may ask me why I have chosen such a topic for our communication today. Well, you know that summer is coming and we will have some free time. Of course, nobody makes teachers learn in summer, but this is the time when we really can learn about something that we want, not about something that we are told to learn. And when we decide to watch, for example, a new movie or to read a new book, I don't know how you do it, but if you ask me, I usually read reviews or I watch reviews online. So I would like you to consider my webinar today as a kind of a review of resources, professional resources that I myself really like. And I would like to advise you to use them, to browse them in summer, and maybe you will find something interesting there. So first of all, a few words about me. As I said, my name is Ганна Дудіч, and I'm a teacher of English and a vice principal at Тарас Шевченко Gymnasium in Kropivnitsky. I'm a Global Teacher Prize Top 50 finalist in 2017, a speaker of the Global Education and Skills Forum in 2018 and 2019, an ambassador of different educational projects and platforms, and a Nearport and a National Geographic certified educator. And a lot of these certifications I also got from the platforms that I'm going to present to you today. So usually on such platforms for professional development of English teachers, you can find not only the information about useful resources, methods of teaching, but also some ideas for your professional development that you can use and apply for example, to receive some internationally trusted certifications. So what are we going to do today and the plan of our webinar? First of all, we will speak about the framework of professional development brought to us from the British Council Teaching English website. The website should be probably familiar for you, but I'm not quite sure if everybody knows about this professional development framework. And this is a great tool for teachers, which will help you to analyze your competencies and to see what exactly you need to study and what kind of webinars, seminars, what kind of activities you should choose for your professional development and which are your weak points and which are your strong points. So if you use this tool, it will really help you. We will speak about ETpedia, a series of books and a blog We will speak about Humanizing Language Teaching, which is a free online magazine for teachers of English. And the key word here is, first of all, that it is free. All the resources in this magazine are online and totally free and will remain free forever. And it is edited by the professors from the Oxford University. It is really trusted source. We will speak about educational utopia, edutopia, which is one of my very most favorite resources. And if I have a question connected with how to do something, how to apply a method, or what to do, for example, with a noisy classroom, what to do with a student with disruptive behavior, I usually find the right answer on the Edutopia blog, and it's really cool, and I will show you how to work with it. And we will speak about European SchoolNet Academy. This is the place where you can choose a course to your liking. Not all the courses there are for the teachers of English, but if you are ready to cooperate with other teachers in your school that teach other subjects, this European SchoolNet Academy would be really great for you. And also there are some courses of general pedagogical knowledge, and they can be applied at any lesson, including the lesson of English. So I will present you some information about the European SchoolNet Academy too. So first of all, I think that we should start, if we think about planning our professional development this summer, I think we should start from the website called Teaching English British Council. I'm sure it is familiar for some of you, and I would like you to put some marks in the chat box, maybe pluses, or say yes, or maybe yes, the equation mark, whatever, if you have ever used this website. You know that the British Council has several resources, several websites. They have got the website called British Council Kids, where you can find resources for little kids. You can also find some great ideas on the British Council Teaching Teens, if you are teaching teenagers. There is a general website for learners of English, but also there is a special site for teachers. And if you are looking specifically for your professional development resources, I think you should end up here. The site is called Teaching English British Council, and you can see the link here on your screen. What can you find in this website? So first of all, professional development resources, then different publications. Actually, they are research, scientific publications. You can find really trusted information there, not just somebody's opinion that they think that it should be so. But all of these things published here, they are really, really trusted. You can find there are lots of teaching resources like lesson plans, for example. And you can find news and events and a podcast. A podcast, you know, it's a series of audio recordings dedicated to a specific topic. In our occasion, it will be a topic of learning or teaching English. So let us look in details at some of these ideas. So the first drop-down menu would be the professional development menu. And I have circled the ideas which I myself find the most useful for English teachers. So if you are a teacher of English, you should click on professional development option, and then you will see the following ideas there. Teachers, there you will see the materials for teachers. Teacher educators, you will find different ideas for the teacher trainers. If you are a teacher trainer working at the local in-service teacher training institution, then you will be able to find some ideas there. Or maybe if you are teaching future teachers at a university, at a pedagogical university, you might also be able to find some ideas there. And a podcast. Then the second drop-down menu is entitled Publications. What publications can you find there? First of all these publications can be downloaded, and the most valuable probably thing for me there is the resource books. It's collection of resource books for teachers, and you know that usually resource books for teachers aim at providing us some tips on specific topic. For example, resource books for teaching grammar or resource books for teaching vocabulary. So you can download some resource books here. Then you can find there some case studies, some research, database, dissertations, so different scientific papers. When people get their, when English teachers get their degree, they usually write some scientific research papers, and some of them are uploaded here, and you can use them in your studies, in your future studies. Then another idea is to use, another option is to use the ideas from news and events. And here I would like to attract your attention to the option webinars. If you are looking for a webinar from native speakers, or a webinar where you are going to learn about some specific technique or methodology, so you can find some interesting ideas here. They are provided on the regular basis. And teaching resources, teaching primary school, teaching secondary school kids, and teaching adults. Let us move on. So when I started my webinar, I was speaking about the framework, the British Council's Continuing Professional Development Framework, or CPD framework. I myself find it very useful. Actually, what is a framework? It is a booklet that shows you the 4 stages of development of a teacher and 12 professional practices. And this framework helps you to understand where you are now, at what stage of your professional development, and plan your own professional development in the future. So, for example, you know, well, in general, you know that now, according to our new laws in the sphere of education, all the teachers in Ukraine are given quite a lot of freedom. We can plan our own professional development now. And if you, for example, are thinking that, well, I'm going to have like 56 days of my vacation, and I think I will be able to listen to several webinars or to read some publications or whatever, but what do I need to study? What do I need to improve? I advise you to utilize this CPD framework. Have a look at this scheme that I copied at this infographics. You can see there, first of all, the 4 stages. They are awareness, understanding, engagement, and interaction. And then the 12 professional practices: planning the lesson and the course, understanding learners, managing the lesson, knowing the subject, and etc., etc. I will not read all the 12 of them. So if you take, for example, the first one, planning lessons. We all plan the lessons, but at what stage are we? The stage of awareness means that you are only aware of the fact that the lesson should be planned according to some standards, and there should be a lead in, a warming up, then the presentation, practice, production, whatever. Understanding means that you understand how to do it practically. You not only know about it, but you understand how it works. Engagement means that if you take this professional practice, I mean planning lessons, you are engaged in it, you use it regularly. And integration means, of course, that you are on the top level of understanding of what you are doing, and you can do it really, really well. And you can see that also here different ideas are taken into account, which influence the quality in the classroom. Learn language proficiency, that is your language proficiency as a teacher, educational qualifications, and ELT qualifications. So if you take into account all these ideas, you will be able to plan your future professional development. Each of these professional practices, each of 12 practices, and each of 4 stages is described in details in the booklet, and you can download the booklet from the link that is provided here. So imagine that you have read the booklet, and now you know your strong and weak areas, and you want to make your weak areas stronger. So what should you do now? You can choose different resources for teachers from this Teaching English British Council website, professional development resources. So what professional practices you can choose? Look at this screen grab, and in the screen grab you can see only 4 possible ideas, like planning lessons and courses, understanding learners, managing the lesson, and knowing the subject. But you can find all the 12 practices there on the website. I have put just an example here. So if you click on, for example, planning the lessons and courses, what will you get? You will get a collection of articles dedicated to this subject. You will get the links to the magazine or different magazines dedicated to this problem, and you can find other content. So as you can see, your professional development here on the Teaching English British Council website is in this section. It is not in the form of a course, but it is in the form of a collection of resources, articles, magazine publications, and other content. However, you can also find the courses on the British Council website. You can see the courses which are both free and paid. Some of them are free, some of them are paid, and I advise you to click on every course and check the information about the courses. You can find some free courses there. Some courses remain open for limited time. It means that you can take a course for free, but it will remain open, for example, only for a couple of weeks after you finish the course. So you need to take down notes while doing the course. You can join some of the courses now because they are running now, or you can sign up and get email notifications when the course starts, in case if the course starts a little bit later. So I advise you to check the courses which you can see here. This is just an example, a screen grab from the website page, and there are more courses there for teachers of English. Another resource that I find really useful for teachers of English is called ETpedia. If you look at the title, it really looks like encyclopedia. And it is really an encyclopedia for teachers of English. English Teachers Encyclopedia, ETpedia. It is a range of resources for teachers of English as a foreign language, and it will be good for teachers of English with experience, and for new teachers of English, and even for students working towards an ELT qualifications. And it is really a great tool. ETpedia actually is the name of a series of resource books for teachers of English, but also it is a blog which has got lots of great ideas for ELT teachers. You can see the link here now. The ETpedia is run by John Hughes, and several years ago I got really lucky to be his student. John Hughes worked in English language teaching for 23 years as a teacher, trainer, manager, blogger, and author. You can see his name on some of the textbooks for learners of English. You can see his name also on some of the grammar books that we use quite regularly in our classroom. So he's a really experienced person. And he is the editor of the series of books, resource books, and also of the website, the blog for English teachers. Why do I like using the ideas from the ETpedia resource? Because all the ideas there are presented in a form of really short, really precise tips on certain topics. So actually, all the publications here look like lists of 10 10 top tips or ideas or questions or activities or resources dedicated each set to a certain question. For example, 10 tips for online teaching from Wikipedia books. And here, if you are teaching online, and we were all teaching online this school year, you can find 10 great ideas from the resource books for teachers called Wikipedia books, brought to you as a set of 10 collections, 10 tips. 10 tips for new teacher trainers, for example. If you are a teacher trainer and you need some help, 10 tips for you. 10 questions with teacher trainers, certain teacher trainers who give you 10 ideas, or they have got the interview. Teaching vocabulary, 10 tips to teach vocabulary, 10 techniques for teaching grammar. So whatever. All these tips are really short. Each tip is presented in the form of a paragraph. You can see now a screen grab from my blog here on the Wikipedia resource. I presented there 10 ways to provide real-life communication opportunities for EFL students. And there I have got 10 short ideas of how to provide this real-life communication with links, examples, so you can read the idea and instantly take it into your classroom. How can you interact with the Wikipedia website? What can you do there? You can sign up for a newsletter, and it means that you will get an email notification every time when a new list of 10 tips is published on the blog, and you will know that it's time to have a look and to find something interesting for you. You can connect with the Wikipedia blog and resource books with the help of social media, and you will get some interesting information from them in Facebook, for example, or Twitter. And you can share your ideas. If you have got your ideas of how to do something, and you can organize your ideas in a list of 10, you can contact the editor of Wikipedia and try to present your ideas here and share your ideas with the international group of English language teachers. So I advise you to do it too, because I know several friends from teacher friends from all over the world who have shared their ideas on the Wikipedia blog, because quite often we do really great things in the classroom, but unfortunately we do not tell the larger audience about our ideas, about what we do. And people do not know about these ideas only because we do not tell them about them. So the next website that I would like to make you acquainted with is called Humanizing Language Teaching. First of all, I really love the name, because not only language teaching, I think, should be humanized, and this child-centered approach should be essential practically on every, not practical, but in general on every lesson. And the resources brought to us here on this website will really help us to humanize language teaching. This is, as I said, a magazine, but you cannot flip through the pages of this magazine because it is not brought to you in the form of a digital publication, but it is brought to you in the form of a website or a blog. You can find there different articles, different ELT resources, different lesson ideas, voices, which means the reflection of different teachers about different topics. You can find their book reviews, brought to us by teachers who used these or those resource books for teachers. You can find their articles about 21st century skills, about CLIL, about teaching in primary and secondary school, and a lot more. And just have a look at the contributors. Contributors include really well-known names, and you probably saw these surnames on the books, on the grammar books, on the textbooks that we are using. So you can see that the contributors are really, really respected in the world of the English language teaching. And the editor, Hania Kryzewska, is also one of the Oxford professors, and she runs this website. Now you can have a look at the current edition of the Humanizing Language Teaching magazine, and I recorded a short video from it just to show you what kind of articles you can look for in this magazine. So as I said, it is completely free of charge. So first of all, you can see the editorial, the article from the editor. You can see the interviews with some educators. You can see the distance English language teaching, some ideas about distance language, how COVID revealed cracks in teaching English. You can see some writing based on improvisations. You can see various articles about various approaches, problem-based English language teaching, developing critical thinking. So quite a lot of articles. Then you have got different research in the area of language. You can read about the 21st century skills. You can find some lesson ideas. You can find some golden classics, which means some really trusted methodology, not something new, and the voices, the articles or ideas from teachers from all over the world. You can see there the countries where the teachers come from: Romania, Poland, Italy, so different countries. Czech Republic, so teachers share their experience. You can read the articles online, or you can download the article to your laptop, to your personal computer, and read it later. So lots of really great publications. And also there is some humor and the poems, so some interesting ideas that you can find. Another resource, probably one of my most favorite resources, is called Educational Utopia, Edutopia. To tell you the truth, this is not a resource only for teachers of English. It is a resource for educators in general. But I think I mean the teachers of English as a foreign language, must take advantage of our ability to read the ideas of other educators using the language. I mean, to use the language as means of getting the information and professional development, and utilize the resources for teachers which are not specifically for teachers of English, but for teachers in general. So though the website is called Edutopia, I should tell you that it is not a utopia. It is a really, really cool resource. It is a source sharing a spotlight on what works in education. And as I said, I tried lots of ideas that I found on this website, and they really worked in class. And this website is supported by George Lucas Educational Foundation, and you can find there the following ideas on the following topics: assessment, integrated studies, project-based learning, social and emotional learning, professional learning, technology integration, and a lot more. So I advise you to browse this resource and to find the ideas that you might be looking for. And as you can see, there is this search box which looks like a search like a glass, yes, looking glass, and you can just type your keyword that you are looking for, and you will find the website will bring to you all the possible articles or publications that are devoted to the topic that you are going to investigate. Some of the articles are written by the teachers, and some other articles on the Edutopia website are written by the professionals, by the professionals in the sphere of education. I mean the professors, the researchers who give you some insight from their studies. Now, another resource that I'm going to present you is called European SchoolNet Academy. And actually, this is the place where the teachers that teach different subjects can find the courses that they can finish, that they can enroll in, and you can even get a certificate after finishing the course. All the previous resources that I reviewed in my webinar today were mainly the websites, and they did not give you a chance to earn a certificate. But here, the European SchoolNet Academy also gives you a chance to get not only knowledge, but also a certificate of the international way that will be international recognized, and it can be recognized also by your local administration. I mean, when you have your attestation period and you present to your school admins all the professional development that you did in 5 years, you can show this certificate to it. It is really trusted. It is supported by the major European ministries of education. So the ministries of education of all the members of European Union trust this resource and support this resource. So this certification is recognized practically everywhere in Europe. And it can be voted here in Ukraine as well. So the link you can see here, it is European SchoolNet Academy. .eu, and as I said, you can take advantage of general pedagogy, of professional development in the general sphere of pedagogy, just because you know English well. So let us have a look at the courses. When you get to the site, of course, you need to sign in if you want to get this professional development. And you can find different courses there. Some courses, quite a lot of them, are mainly for the teachers of such subjects as science, like biology, geography, so they are connected with STEM, if you know what STEM means, so science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But some of the courses are of general nature. So have a look at the courses that I highlighted here in the screen grab. Competencies for the 21st century schools. So what competencies should we develop at different lessons, including the lesson of English, in the 21st century? And you know that our new Ukrainian school, which is NUSH, yes, is speaking now about the competencies, approach. And no matter what subject you teach, you need to know how to develop competencies, but not only to bring the knowledge. And how to do it, you can learn in this course. Another course that I find really cool is creative use of tablets in schools. A lot of us have got, but allow students to bring their gadgets. We utilize bring your own device approach in school, and the students bring the tablets, okay, Maybe the school has provided the tablets, yes, but how do we use them in class? How do we use them productively? How do we make it in such a way that we do not waste time on managing those tablets, but we do some really cool things like formative assessment tests, for example, or how to conduct a warming up activity, for example, with the help of tablets. So you can learn how to do it by enrolling in this kind of course. Or developing digital skills in your classroom. Digital skills does not mean that your students know how to type, for example. It means also the digital literacy, that is knowing where to find the information which is trusted, where to look for different information, and to respect the private property of other people, to respect Creative Commons, to respect the author's rights of different people, how not to use somebody else's ideas and just try to say that these ideas are yours instead of somebody else's. So these are all really cool ideas. And you can use, you can learn how to develop these digital skills in your English language classroom. So I'm sure that if you go to European Schoolnet Academy website and browse through this resource, you will find more interesting ideas there and more interesting courses that you may be interested in, that you would like to take to get enrolled in this summer. So some of the courses are on the regular basis, and I mean some of the courses presented here, and you can enroll in the course at any time you want. Some of the courses are taught at specific times, and you need to check the time. Sometimes the course remains open till for unlimited time, but you can get, for example, a certificate only when the course is active. But when the time of the course finishes, you can learn how to do it. All the material remains open, but you cannot earn the certificate. You can learn how to do it, but the certificate will not be available to you. So it depends. You need to check every course. So every course is different. You need to check them. Some courses have got like reruns if they were really, really popular with teachers. So for example, you can see that some of the courses were invented, were presented quite a long time ago, and they get rerun. For example, tablets in the classroom are really, really really popular with the teachers, so they get rerun quite often. So I hope that you were able to see something new for yourself, that you were able to find some new information. And now I can see some questions in our chat box and in my Google Doc, and I will try to answer them. So the first question is, what educational scientific articles have impressed you most of all recently? The educational article that impressed me most of all was the publication about, it was the publication made by the UNICEF about the influence of COVID on the educational systems all over the world. If you are looking for this specific article, if you think that it will be interesting for you as well, you can go to the 100 website. 100 is one of the organizations, it's one of the online communities which speaks about educational innovations all over the world. And also they present some really cool information, some up-to-date information to the teachers. So there I found, on this website, I found the article about the consequences brought by COVID lockdown. And why it impressed me most of all, I will explain you now. We think that our local problems are really, really huge. But the article presented like an overview of this impact that school shutdown had on the educational systems all over the world. In the developing countries, in quite rich countries, in different countries of the world. And it showed that children actually suffered a lot everywhere, no matter in what country they live, the poor country or the rich country. And what we as educators should do probably is try to shift probably from the idea of putting this information that we have in our national programs into the heads of children to teaching kids how to learn independently. And this is probably now the biggest shift. That is what I have taken out of this article, that this is probably the biggest shift of the modern education nowadays, to focus on teaching children how to become independent learners, the learners that will not depend on the teacher or on any book or on any educational source, and that will be successful in the changing environment. Another question is, how many students are there in my classes on average? Well, in the school where I teach, we, as probably all the other schools in Ukraine, have a rule to divide the class of 28 students into two groups if they study a foreign language. So that is what usually happens. If there are 28 or more students in the class, it is divided into two groups. And in one group, I would have like 14, 15 students. Now, probably a little bit more, because most of our classes have more than 28 students. So I would have from 14 to, let's say, 70 students in a group. But if the class is less than 28 students, then it is not divided. And it happened to me that I had to teach in classes where there would be like 20-something students and they will not be divided. Which is the most challenging thing concerning your professional development? Probably the most challenging thing concerning my professional development, my personal professional development, would be to find a trusted resource. Because probably like with any kind of information, not only about professional development, but in general, nowadays in the modern world, information is really, really easily accessible. So you just click any link in the internet and voila, the information is there. But can you really trust it? Can you really think, and can you really be sure that this information is a trusted source? Luckily, I attended several really cool courses, really cool webinars and seminars for educators that taught me to check all possible sources of information that I'm using, including the source of my professional development. So that is why when I'm looking for my professional development source, first of all, if I'm looking for it online, for example, first of all, I browse the net, try to find all possible providers of the information on the topic that I'm looking for. And then I choose the most trusted ones. I just read through several of them, and I look for reviews like the one that I'm presenting you today. I spoke only about the websites that I personally used, and I have really positive experience of using them. I tried the ideas that I saw there in my classroom, and I am telling you that yes, you can trust these ideas. They really work. They are presented to you by respected people in the field of education, and that is what I do. Read reviews, look at the source, and see that the source is really trusted. So to find such a source is really a challenge for a person in the modern world. The next question is, what educational scientific articles have impressed you most of all recently? Oh, I'm sorry, but it seems to me that this is the same question as the first one that I answered. The answer was about the research about COVID impact, COVID lockdown impact on education. What resources can you offer for students? That's also a very good question because teachers can be independent learners. We are independent learners with you, and we can choose really trusted resources. We can share with each other like we are doing now with the help of the project Na Urok. But what about students? For students, it depends on what age your students are. And I would like to offer several ideas. If you mean that, if your question concerns improving their English, like grammar, vocabulary, and things like that, you can probably take one of the resources for learners brought to you also by the British Council. If kids are young, if they are primary school students, they can go to British Council Kids website, and they can find their really cool songs, chants, poems, some games, online games, which they play and also practice vocabulary and grammar at the same time. If they are teens, they can, if they are in the middle school, they can use the British Council Teens website. And also, if your focus is not only on the language learning, but also on developing 21st century skills, I would probably recommend your students to use the Pen Pal Schools website. It is a really, really cool resource for the learners of English. Why? Because it provides the opportunity for a student to join, to study collaboratively together with students from other countries. So students choose a topic that they are interested in learning more about. For example, it can be any topic that is presented on the website. For example, it can be a topic connected with the flags of the world. So in this topic, they are presented a video based on the topic. The video usually goes in with subtitles so they can read what they are watching. Then the text, if they choose or you help them to choose the level of language, they can choose the easier, the middle, like pre-intermediate, and the intermediate level. And the text will be on the same topic but with different level of difficulty. And after watching the video and reading the text, they will be given a problem question. And when they write the answer to this problem question, they automatically put into a chat with students from different countries who have chosen the same topic. So they have already learned about the topic and they can discuss it now using English, which is really cool. This idea was described by me in this top 10 list on the ETpedia website, the list which was called top 10 tips of teaching English in the real using the real world communication for teaching English. So if you are looking for a resource that will not only develop your students' language competency but also develop their 21st century skills, so go to Pen Pal Schools website. What can you say about the international exams for teachers like TEFL, CELTA, KT, and so on? I really think that most of these world-known, internationally accepted and trusted exams for teachers are very professionally designed, and believe me, I'm sure that the providers of such exams really think over all the details. And why not? If you are looking for the international recognized teaching certifications, so go ahead and take any of the exams for English language teachers that you think are suitable for you in this or that situation. I really believe that they are trusted and they are useful even if you fail for the first time. because even if a person fails an exam like that, it gives the person the chance to analyze the strong points, the weak points, and plan your professional development for the following years and months. So I believe that we have come to the end of our webinar. And if there are no more questions in the chat box, and it seems to me I cannot see any other questions, I have answered probably all of them. So if you have no more questions, I am really thankful to you for spending these 50 minutes with me today. And I hope to see you on our next webinars on the educational platform Na Урок. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.